Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, just when we thought we had all the answers, WWE changes the questions as Mandy Rose and Bobby Lashley are both out of a job and only one of them is for storyline purposes. Plus, Matt Riddle might be going up in smoke. Ring of Honor puts on an impressive final battle. And yes, oh yes, it's a new day in NXT. So sit back, relax, and make sure to not get your OnlyFans leaked because it's Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 320 of a Lash exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio. And it starts right now. Oh my, folks.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What a ridiculous 48 hours in the world of WWE. 48 hours, what a ridiculous 48 hours in the last 48 hours of my life. I said 48 hours way too much. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 320 of Kings of the Rings podcast, The Lash. I am, of course, your host, King Ricky Rose. No K Murphy. K Murphy is popped up on Benadryl right now and knocked the fuck out, more than likely. So, with me, in the ugliest sweater, of course, is the right-hand man, I guess, the main event, Will Tarashuk.
I don't know if this is really ugly, man. It's just Santa Claus and Rudolph playing cornhole.
It's the ugly sweater style.
It is the ugly sweater
It's a style. It's a style.
Style?
Yeah.
But it's comfy, man. Next week I'm gonna wear my Charlie Brown one that has lights on it. So get ready for that.
Nice. For our last episode of the year.
Oh, we're gonna take off the 28th?
Yeah, Kay has, as Kay told me, it's the Fab Five Christmas party, whoever the Fab Five are.
I don't know what that means. I should be around if you want to do a show. If you want to take off, that's fine with me. Last year,
I think about taking off. I don't know.
I take that last week off anyway.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I don't do this thing, but yeah, it's cool with me.
Yeah. So yeah, no, this is King's Rings podcast. Myself and Will Tarashuk, just the dudes, today, and it's going to be a wild fucking time. I thought I had a show created for this week. As of last night, I was prepared. I did stuff early because I needed to really distract my mind from other shit going on. And I thought we were all set. And then this afternoon hit. And so things changed absolutely wildly after last night. So let's start first off with a little bit of breaking news. And it's not really the breaking news, but it's a precursor to what actually happened today. So last night, the Iron Survivor, the women's Iron Survivor, Roxanne Perez, barely 21, Will Tarashuk.
Wow.
Yeah. A product of Reality of Wrestling and Booker T's promotion down in Texas. She won the women's championship in Booker T's promotion. She was the first ever ROH women's champion because ROH didn't have a women's title forever. She then signed with WWE, has done great stuff there for the most part, won the Iron Survivor, which made her the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. And last night she was like, why fucking wait? I'm going to challenge Mandy Rose tonight. And she won. At the tender age of 21, she is the second youngest woman ever to win the NXT title. Obviously, Paige, formerly known as, Paige, now known as Saraya, which is going by. Paige is the youngest, obviously, because I think Paige was like 19, 20 when she won the NXT Women's Championship. And it was kind of surprising because I was like, why is she doing this now? Why didn't they wait till like Vengeance Day, which is going to happen in a little over 2 months, or a little less than 2 months from now, down in North Carolina. And there seems to be a reason for that because breaking news as of this afternoon, Mandy Rose is fired from WWE.
Who do you think delivered the news? Was it
know.
Shawn Michaels? He's like technically running NXT. So we're actually used it's like, oh, Mandy. First off, nice. But second of all, we can't have that. Yeah, you're fired.
I don't know. So let's talk before we get to Mandy Rose's firing. What led to that? Because there are some things that WWE's hand was kind of forced, in my opinion. No matter what you think of, independent contracts and all whatever BS. Not BS, but all whatever stuff that goes on with their contracts and stuff. Mandy Rose had a 413-day run as NXT Women's Champion, the third longest run in the history of the promotion. Almost
Behind Asuka
about
and Shayna Baszler.
a week away from beating Shayna. And
3 days.
yeah, 3 days from beating Shayna, and
4 days.
yeah, something like that. And Asuka has a 522-day reign, which is probably never going to be touched by anyone ever, especially in NXT as champion. So if you look at her run as the Toxic Mandy and her character development and her ring skill, it is a fucking success from what she was portrayed as on the main roster as like a porn star and all that stuff. There was that one time when she tried to seduce Jimmy. It was like even
I remember that.
yeah,
That storyline.
yeah, the hotel scene and everything. It was when she was facing Naomi. Her thing with Sonya Deville, like she just wasn't. She wasn't where she needed to be. She went down to NXT. She developed her character, and she became the best version of her character that she could have been. And like I said, overall, it's a success. She reinvented herself. She got better, and she's what she wanted to do. And all signs are pointing to she's probably going to move back up to Raw or SmackDown. And then the report from Fightful and our favorite person, Sean Ross, came out, and he tweeted at around 2-ish or so, saying that WWE officials, well, that they released Mandy Rose, and WWE officials felt that they were put in a tough position based on the content Mandy Rose was posting on a site that's known as Fan Nation. They feel like it was outside the parameters of her WWE deal. So that's what Sean Ross was saying. So let's break that down a little bit. So a lot of people are saying it was an OnlyFans, so it's not an OnlyFans, it's actually a Fan Nation. It's very similar to OnlyFans, subscription service, so on and so forth, where the content creator can provide content and you pay money to see that content, so on and so forth. It's like I think the gate entry fee for Mandy's Fan Nation site was $25. If you do a quick search, probably right, and it might be gone by the time you actually do a search of Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose Leaks, you're probably going to find these photos. These photos are a little bit more explicit in nature. It's not Mandy Rose in a bikini. It's Mandy Rose naked. There are videos of her there as well, showing pretty much everything or covering up pretty much everything. Things of that nature, but you see what you think you're going to see from Mandy Rose that you wouldn't see in WWE. Yes, it is all there. And to be honest with you, that's not really, I think, yes, the content's there, and what did you think you're going to get from Mandy when she's doing something like that? You can make that argument, and she can be allowed to do whatever she wants with her content. But here's the issue. With Fan Nation, it appears that you can create the name of your website for people to go to. And Mandy has a bunch of other things that she's a part of. She's like did the YouTube page, the Mandy's Donuts. She has like a makeup line, fitness stuff, whatever. The website to get to Mandy's Fan Nation page is MandyRoseSax.com.
That's problem number one.
Mandy Rose's real name is Amanda Sacamano, I believe, or something of that nature.
Her middle name's Rose.
Yeah, Mandy Rose is the intellectual property.
Yeah, that's my first question. Did she use the name Mandy Rose?
Mandy Rose is the intellectual property of WWE,
which is a PG-rated company.
Yes, I believe that is the tough position that they're in because, as we know from the Zelina Vega incident when she had an OnlyFans, Zelina wasn't even doing nudity there. She was just in bathing suits. She was being Zelina Vega. You can see that shit on her Instagram.
It still broke the contract, which I remember I was talking about that too.
Because
it's gonna be a very similar conversation. Look, no slut shaming. She's an adult. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. Mm-hmm. Sex work is work. No shame from either of us on here.
Absolutely not.
But from the viewpoint of WWE, hypocrisy regardless, it's written in the contract, and you did break a legally binding contract, and you put them in, that WWE being that is, in a very, very, very difficult position. Now, I can't say I wouldn't have done the exact same thing in firing them. Her, I mean.
Yeah.
It's just, it's more legal in aesthetic and how it comes off, as opposed to shaming her for what she actually did.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. It's a legal thing that ended up happening.
Yeah.
If she would have had that website named like AmandaSacamano.com, like her real name, like Sasha Banks' name is Mercedes Bernardo. Anything that's not Sasha Banks related is under the name Mercedes Bernardo, her real name. You know?
Right. Because
There's
that's
a
what you're
reason for
supposed to
that.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why WWE gives them fake names.
Yeah.
It's so they can't do shit like this
And get
without permission.
exactly.
Right? Like remember Kane did that movie? Like he was like in a horror movie in like 2006 or whatever.
Yes, I do.
believe the credit was Kane and not Glenn Jacobs.
Because WWE was promoting it, correct?
That and like WWE gave them the permission to use that kind of a name.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the difference. Like WWE was involved or gave them permission.
Yeah.
Or even like with Up, Down, Down, right? Like if Xavier Woods left WWE and won that name back, WWE could release the rights and give it to him, but he can't do it without permission.
Yeah.
Even though it is his.
Mm-hmm.
He sold the rights to it.
I don't know. I wonder how much of the rights WWE has to it, or it's some sort of
Probably a few million.
some sort of shared partnership, because it was away for a while. But
this story comes down to legalese.
Yep.
Really is what it comes down to.
Pretty much, and it's a shame. And so, for those of you guys who, we're not going to rehash this Zelina Vega commentary, which is a great commentary that we had about unionization of wrestlers and blah 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 blah. Fact of the matter is, in a sample WWE contract that we had, there is a clause talking about intellectual property and your name being the intellectual property, your ring name given being the intellectual property of WWE. And anything under that name is the property of WWE.
Well, here's the crazy thing, Ricky. What WWE probably could, again, I'm not a lawyer, but just from what I know and what I think I know and what I think could happen, since they used Mandy used their name, they could sue her and take all of that money that she made off of it.
Oof.
If not all of it, most of it. To which I don't think WWE will do that.
No, I don't think so either.
So, she, in a sense, she's lucky she only got fired.
Yeah.
I'm not saying be thankful for it.
No.
But this situation could be a whole lot worse. And like a lot of people are going to make WWE the bad guy, which to an extent I understand, but it could be a whole lot worse. They could go full heel on this and make sure she never works again.
Yeah, and I do not think they are going to do that at all.
I don't either.
I
don't either. I don't think they want the attention. They just want this
done.
They want it
over.
Gone. They want it away.
Now, how they got the information for this site, or that she was doing is
dude. Johnny Ace is out of the company. That fucking horn dog.
How they found out about this site is also something interesting as well. You don't know whether, because I think she might have been promoting it on her socials. Who knows? But I do know there was a leak that came out recently, I believe over the weekend, of some of her content, which is a clear legal violation. And from that standpoint, be that as it may, WWE became aware of it.
Yeah.
And once it's out there and WWE becomes aware of it, WWE has some sort of, they have to answer, because either they do something about it or they're answering to the board.
Exactly.
And so they have to do it, and it's a shame. And it also makes me think: did Mandy hide this from them?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
I mean that's just speculation at this point. Like she could have done something that she knew she wasn't supposed to be doing. This kind of kept it a secret. Which, hey, I understand that too. You got to make some extra money. She's not making main roster money anymore.
No,
right? She's probably making under $1 million in NXT.
Oh yeah,
when
by
on the main
far,
roster,
by
she's
far.
probably making a little over $1 million, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she thought she needed or wanted extra cash.
Yeah,
if you need extra cash. Sometimes you might bend the rules a little bit to get it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, if, like I said, if that website's name is Amanda Sacamano, WWE has nothing to really stand on.
That other than unless there's like a policy in her contract saying she can't do this kind of adult content.
Correct. Because
like you're recognized from our product. Like granted, it's not related to us.
Yeah.
And you are an independent contractor, so you really shouldn't. But there are certain things in independent contractors that can non-compete for something related, they could legally, they could probably put something like that in there
Yeah.
because they are a publicly traded, family-oriented company.
Yeah. So it's a shame because I do know the information was leaked that she also did lose her brother recently as well.
Mm.
I don't know when her brother did pass away, but I know they said it's recent. So I don't know if it was this month, last month. It was relatively recent. So it's just bad timing all around. For Mandy, and I know she just got engaged. Like in the recent personal life of Mandy Rose that I know that I'm aware of that's been posted on social,
Engaged again.
she got engaged to Timo Sabatelli. She lost her brother, which is very fucking unfortunate, and now she lost the title and now is fired from WWE. And she's literally like not really a rags to riches, but she's a product of a successful developmental system that Triple H started. She was a tough enough competitor. She didn't win, but she got signed later on and made something of herself.
Yeah, no, she eventually proved, and this title reign proves that she was more than just a pretty face and a hot body.
Yeah, and it seemed like she was probably going to go on with this new toxic Mandy Rose character to be something really, really good on either Raw or SmackDown, which needs characters like this in their women's division. And we are not going to see that, at least for now. I'm not going to never say never that Mandy's never going to come back.
I think she'll be back.
I think she'll be back as well.
Like, what makes sense? I mean, she's only 31, right?
32,
She's still young.
32.
She's 32?
Yeah.
So what they could do, I don't know how many years left on a contract, but they could have let her contract run out, even though it's already it's gone, it's done.
Yeah, it's not there.
But like, say there's 2 years left.
So she's no compete for the life of her contract.
Yeah, so let her sit at home for those 2 years, and then you bring her back.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's a shitty situation.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the hypocrisy? Because there is a little bit of hypocrisy.
Go right ahead.
Like, people comparing this to Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle has a drug addiction.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Matt.
That's very different. Like this, there's nothing wrong with either. I mean, you could say something wrong with the drug addiction, but Matt Riddle isn't being fired because he's getting helped. Mandy Rose doesn't need help for anything. There's nothing wrong with what she did morally.
No.
She just broke a contract. It's something wrong with what she did legally.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I think go ahead.
That's not fair. I saw something that like Mandy Rose is being punished for being sexualized, where they told someone else to be sexualized on TV. I think
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, Athena, yes.
It's just like, okay, but they're not telling Ember to do a nip slip on national television.
No, because they get fined heavily for that.
Yeah. You know, the Austin Theory, when the video of him was that Ricochet rubbing his butthole?
No, that was Austin Theory. It was not Ricochet.
Wasn't Ricochet a video of like him figuring his asshole?
Something like that. But a lot of that stuff was also like the Austin Theory situation in and of itself was before he was signed, I believe.
I think it was before he was signed.
Yeah.
It was leaked, so it's not like it was done on purpose. It's not like he was selling them.
Yeah.
And there was some false allegations in there as well.
Correct. The Mandy Rose thing is, one, there is knowledge that what you did. Was her stuff leaked? Yes. Does that suck? Yes. Fact of the matter is, she knew what she was doing, and she willingly posted it on it, and she willingly used her Mandy Rose persona as the website name. Which you look up MandyRoseSax.com. It'll take you right to the Fan Nation site. You know that's what it boils down to.
That.
Yeah,
you can't be doing that. Like, come on now. I thought we learned this lesson with Zelina Vega.
Yeah, and Zelina wasn't doing the the explicit stuff that Mandy was doing.
No, she was just doing cosplay.
Yeah,
she's pretty much wearing what she was on TV.
Yeah, but again, she used her name on the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't take someone else's property to promote yourself on the side.
Without permission.
Without permission, yeah, you can't.
Without written
consent,
written verbal consent, whatever that phrase is, that legal phrase.
Written verbal consent, yes.
Or yeah.
Written or verbal consent.
So yeah, I don't blame WB on this one. I truly don't think they fired her because she sold her tits on the internet.
No.
You know, I mean, that was part of their business model.
They were pretty loose. They loosened up a lot of that. A lot of them making money on the side thing once Vince was out of the picture.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should, as long as it's reasonable,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, as long as your number one priority is still WWE, and you make your dates, you make your commitments, what you do on your own time as an independent contractor
Is your own time.
is your own time. Otherwise, you're a full-time employee, which entitles you to more benefits.
Exactly.
You know, like, WWE can't have it both ways, so loosening those restrictions is good for everybody.
Yeah, and from what I see, Mandy Rose never missed a date. She never missed a match. She was never a locker room.
Yeah, I've never heard one bad thing about Mandy Rose. In fact, I never heard anything about Mandy Rose. I forgot she was even in the company until like 3 weeks ago.
From what I gathered from the from the NXT crowd, was that she was actually very positive in the NXT women's locker room because she had knowledge of being on Raw and SmackDown, on the main rosters, traveling the road, and she was she happily shared that knowledge with some of the up and coming women.
Yeah, and she was still there to learn, which is the great irony of it.
Yeah. You know, she was a positive influence, and she was there to learn. So she was perfect for this phase, too. And like I said, she's going to probably going to go on a mega run, and she's not going to do that anymore for right now. But no hard feelings from this podcast. Best of luck to her. She clearly made a mistake from a legal perspective.
Yeah,
and she'll probably learn from this.
And it's this: if you're out there and you subscribe to that website, get ready to pay higher rates. Yeah. So be aware of that.
Yeah.
Money's got to make money. Yeah, good luck, Mandy. Next time, do a camera straight up your asshole. Maybe that'll work. I don't know what to tell you.
It's probably not going to work. Yeah,
sex work is work, so just get to work, I guess.
Next, use your real name. Come up with a fucking different name. Do something. Just don't use your ring name. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's really that.
And don't use someone else's name either. Like, don't use Will Tarashuk. What if she was like, my new name is Ambassador Small?
I'd be like, son of a bitch. Never. God.
Dude, Mandy T. Mandy T would have worked.
That's true. Or like the Mandy.
No, that's too close.
Well, no, because they had the Mandy's Donuts, and that was fine.
And maybe she got permission for that, though.
Well, it's her and Sonya Deville, a.k.a. Dara Baronato, so Dumb Mandy.
Dumb Mandy, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was cleared by them. They've been doing that for fucking ever.
Yeah. So, again, that was moved.
Yeah.
Clearly this wasn't.
Yeah, so.
Damn shame. Send me the videos.
Is a damn shame. Moving along to somebody who got fired, and we believe right now, it's kayfabe's storyline. You never know with WWE these days. But Bobby Lashley was fired on national TV, and here's a picture of Bobby Lashley looking like he just sharted in his own ring gear.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
I would be so happy if that line was ad-libbed. Fritz, I did look on Twitter. I didn't see anything. Send me links in the Discord, you bastard.
Yeah, so Bobby...
Thank you, love you, hugs and kisses.
So Bobby Lashley got fired for striking not one WWE official who was an actually ref, but he fucking elbowed the shit out of Adam Pearce.
Yeah, apparently Pearce rescinded the firing. Thank you, Mr. Fretz.
He rescinded already? Damn it!
Yeah, at least do it on TV next week.
Jesus.
I would have loved if that line was ad libbed and the cameras weren't supposed to pick it up, but they clearly did pick it up.
Oh, but he fired him on TV.
Did Michael Cole or Graves? Not Michael Cole. Graves or the out of breath Nick Patrick say anything about it? What's his name? What's his announcer's name?
I forget. It's not. I don't think it's Nick Patrick.
It's Patrick something. Nick Patrick was
Nick Patrick was a WCW rep.
Yeah, what's this? It's like not Patrick Stewart. What the fuck is this announcer's name?
I forgot.
He kept saying Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They kept saying like we know where it is, dude. Like stop it. Like he kept saying the town and the state. He's like, might as well add USA. And Kevin Patrick.
There it is, Kevin Patrick.
Like, dude, when he announces, he sounds like he's out of breath, like all the time. I hate him. He sucks.
Yeah, he's not great, and they had a bunch of screw ups on commentary, like Bailey wasn't able to sit by the announce booth because her shit wasn't working.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But back to Lashley. So wait, you're telling me your theory is you believe that the firing thing was just for like the crowd there?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Did the announce team pick it up? Did they say something about it? Did they like, what? He was fired? I don't remember.
I believe he got, like, you heard him getting fired and then they went off air.
They did. But
Yeah.
so like it's. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm saying it's possible. I think it'd be pretty awesome if the line was ad libbed.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but it'd be really cool if it was.
Yeah, but he rescinded the firing. Now, a really good thing. Oh, I can't say good thing. Mandy Rose got fired. It really takes away our lead. Because this was going to be a lead for the show. That Bobby Lashley got fired. I really think, because I've heard some rumblings, I really think they were going to. I thought the Bobby Lashley firing would have been a little bit longer, and he would come back with the reformed Hurt Business.
That would be cool. Just give him a few weeks and come back with a group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Bobby. Don't get me wrong. Bobby doesn't need a group. He just continues to get better and better. I liked his face run, but his heel. He's a much better heel.
He's so scary as a heel.
Yeah, he's a much better heel. But and the reason was because he was better on the mic. Him as a face, he
has a
better
lisp.
on the
That's
mic.
why.
Does he have a lisp?
He has a very noticeable lisp.
I haven't noticed it.
I have. It does come out a lot.
I'll listen for it. But yeah, he's just much better as a heel. I thought that would have been really cool.
Yeah, I thought it would have been cool too.
He's so sweaty.
He's very sweaty. I mean, those muscles need hydration. He's gotta sweat, man. But yeah, no, that's such a shame. It's like when they got rid of the Summer of Punk that lasted 2 days, essentially, or 2 weeks. Like, if you're gonna fire him, like, I leave a cliffhanger of Bobby being fired and have him off TV for a considerable amount of time. I hate when they jump the gun and do shit like this.
Yeah.
When you're gonna fire Bobby, because that's a great thing to talk about. Oh shit, they fired Bobby Lashley on national TV. That's fucking nuts. You know, but I love it. I think they are setting up with Lash. Probably the reason they want to bring him back so quickly, anyways. Because even if they fired him for 2 weeks and came back, I'd probably say it was too short, anyways. But I think we are looking towards Bobby Seth Theory at the Rumble, triple threat for the U.S. title.
Again.
Maybe.
Yeah, they just did that.
I totally forgot they did it at
Yeah. Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. I mean, what do you do with Bobby? Like, he's still in the U.S. title picture, obviously. Seth's got the number one contendership. But what do you do with Bobby now?
He just dominates the Rumble.
Ooh, that's good. Give him a little bit of a bump.
Yeah. And I guess you can form a feud for WrestleMania in the Rumble match. Against who? I don't know. Big Show. I have no idea.
Returning Paul White.
Yeah. I have no idea who number 26. Well, I have no idea who he can feud with. Like, this WrestleMania card is going to be very interesting. Quick sidebar.
The Rumble's going to be interesting.
Rumble's going to be interesting. I've heard rumors that Roman might main event both nights.
I'm fine with that.
I am as well, but he has to win both of them.
Which is
the rumor? So the rumor is Roman's going to defend one title, or here's what they could
because the
do.
titles were never unified.
Yeah, so he could defend one on night one against Cody, and then the other or both against Rock night 2.
Interesting.
Or what they could do is, Rock and Cody have a schmoz finish.
Create a triple threat for the next night.
No, they do. They would do for the Rumble. They could do Cody and Rock main event night 1, winner main events against Roman night 2.
That's a shit hand for Cody.
It is, but he gets a match with The Rock.
That is also true.
He still gets that match with Roman down the line and takes the title off of him.
I heard rumors that Roman win at Mania and then just drop, like vacate.
Maybe. I mean, the guy needs some time. I don't know. It's interesting. But what does Bob do? No, him and Brock have unfinished business. What are we talking about?
Well, the rumor...
That's the match.
Yeah, but there's also, like Fred said, there's also a rumor of Brock versus Gunther, which I would also love.
That's just... Excuse me. That's just the Marks having a wet dream for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. It's more possible now that Triple H is in charge. And Triple H is also a Mark. I don't see any money in Brock Gunther yet.
There is money in Brock Bobby still.
Absolutely. I think in a few years there could be money in Brock Gunther, but right now it'd probably be like, why are you downgrading Brock?
Well, here's what you really have to think about when you try to fantasy book a Mania of this magnitude. It is being advertised as WrestleMania Hollywood.
Hollywood. Oh, it's Hulk Hogan, obviously.
You know.
Hulk Hogan. Okay, Mr. Fretz. I'm going with Mr. Fretz here. Hulk Hogan wins the Money in the Bank, and then cashes it on The Rock and gets revenge for WrestleMania like 19, whatever it was.
Oh god. Or for when yeah. So you Hollywood. So I mean, even though WrestleMania in and of itself is where you put in your biggest stars, it has the added emphasis this year of being in Hollywood, and technically Hollywood, even though it's in Englewood, California, nowhere near Hollywood. But it's gonna be marketed as Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Jets don't play in Jersey. Neither do the Giants.
Jets don't play in New York.
Oh, so that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Mets don't. They play in New York.
Yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, so you're gonna put it. It's gonna be a very grandiose feel to this WrestleMania, probably more so than other ones. And Bobby will be somewhere in there for it. So let's move on to a picture of Elias serenading Matt Riddle because his career is almost over.
Did that backstage with Elias and Kevin Owens was really funny though. Kevin Owens has played it off so well.
Kevin is still traumatized by it. It's great.
He's like, do you not remember like what we just went through this past year?
So let's talk about Riddle. It has been it's been revealed or speculated or confirmed at this point that
I believe it.
That the reason that Matt Riddle got the stretcher job off of air was because they have sent him to rehab for the second time. As well, and they gave Riddle the ultimatum, as Mr. Fretz was saying, rehab or fired, because apparently he has a pretty serious drug issue, which is the reason why his match versus Seth Rollins was delayed.
At SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam, because they had forced him into rehab. That's why the match went out on Clash at the Castle.
Probably why he lost too.
Also, probably why he lost as well. Damn good match. So Matt Riddle is in hot water. I mean, if it wasn't for all the shit with Candy Cartwright and the speaking out movement, he is now in hot water because now he has a drug issue. And
so how many strikes can you give a guy before he strikes out?
Yeah, it's not looking good for him at all.
Well, first and foremost, he needs the help.
Yes.
Which again, kudos to WWE for giving him the help and not just firing him and leaving him on his own. So, again, this is not weed because they don't test for weed anymore.
They do not, no.
So this is not a marijuana problem. This is probably pills, and my guess is cocaine.
Yeah, I believe cocaine was involved.
It's a fair bet. I feel like Matt Riddle would really like cocaine.
Well, Fretz, I don't know. Has he been through the ringer? But a lot of that was his own doing. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, poor guy. But he kind of put this on himself.
Yeah, he made his own decision.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he chose to cheat on his wife.
Correct.
He chose to get divorced. Well, that choice was pretty much made for him, but still, that's his fault. No one forced the drugs down up his nose or in his veins or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I get addiction. You know, I understand addiction is very, very tough, and you can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. I'm not shaming him for his addiction, but at the end of the day, he still made these choices.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's he made all these choices. That wasn't bad. He did all that stuff. Look up Matt Riddle, Candy Cartwright. It is a thing. So according to our lovely fans,
consensual or not? There's no proof to say it wasn't consensual.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, he made that choice to destroy his family.
Yeah. So according to our friends at What Culture, I do want to read this that they had.
Speaking of allegations.
Yeah, right. Well, he is not part of them, and he hasn't been part of them.
No, he had a speaking of mental breakdowns too. He had a big one.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm surprised he's not a woman.
So he's Riddle suspended for 6 weeks. This is his second failed drug test of 2022. Matt Riddle's first failed drug test came before SummerSlam. He was really set to face Seth Rollins. The match was pushed to Clash as a result of a failed drug test. And this is when the rehab or fired ultimatum was first issued. When WWE was then forced to write Riddle off for another 6 weeks after he failed his second drug test. Now he is sent to rehab, and sources believe he has either already commenced treatment or is on the verge of doing so. While there is currently no word on what exactly came up on Riddle's failed drug test, WWE no longer tests for marijuana. And here's another interesting thing, Will, but I do want to read to you as well.
Please.
As noted by journalist David Bixenspan in September, it's a weird name. Riddle's ex-wife Lisa is currently attempting to hold the WWE Raw star Matt Riddle in contempt for failing to ensure that his employer sends directly to the mother the results of his routine lab testing, as defined in a previous agreement.
Oh, so she's gonna sue WWE.
No,
Is that what I'm hearing?
so here's I'm
So
gonna
WWE needs to send her the results of a drug test,
correct.
or Riddle does, or both.
I don't know. So I'm gonna read what David Bixenspan
Well, you know why she wants that? So she can go to the courts and be like, I need full
full
custody and more
custody.
money.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, hey man, I get it. You know, if I was on drugs and my mother, my wife, and my children wanted me around them,
Yeah.
I would also push WWE.
So according to David Bixenspan, he
Yeah.
says the most
Yeah, I gotta
interesting.
get fucking paid.
So according to this, it said the most interesting part of the Matt Riddle divorce case file is how in the custody section of the settlement, which is what you're correct for, Will, in the custody section of the settlement, Matt Riddle agreed to, in quotes, ensure that his employer sends directly to the mother the results of his routine lab testing. He didn't. She's trying to hold him in contempt. So it is on Riddle. It's
See,
not on WWE.
that's
It's on Riddle.
that's the confusing thing. So they agreed that he would send her the results. Not why wouldn't WWE just send her
No,
the
he
results?
has to ensure that WWE sends it.
Oh, he has to make sure that okay. So
Yeah,
it's his responsibility to make sure that WWE sends it.
correct.
So he can't be like, it's not on me, bro. Like they didn't. Dr. Fauci didn't send it. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's
No, it's he needs to poke the Fauci and make sure to send his bitch.
correct, and he didn't do that.
And he's not doing. Ooh, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. I would have been like, no. The responsibility is them. They're my employer. They're doing the tests. They can just CC you on the email.
Yeah, and he didn't ensure that, and now she's trying to hold him in contempt.
He should.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
And I hate divorce court because men get fucked. But in this situation, yeah, he deserves to be fucked.
you signed it.
You signed it.
Yeah, you signed it, and he's gonna face the consequences for it, which is a shame. And listen, I'm not gonna take away from anything that Riddle has ever done in the ring. Will and I have seen Riddle even on the Indies.
Yeah,
Great,
phenomenal talent.
great, pure, phenomenal talent.
And from what I know, a really nice guy.
Yeah, from what I've known, we've had people who have been friends with him. Goes out of his way to remember people, say hi to people, so on and so forth. But everybody has their demons,
Yeah.
and he needs to start facing these demons head on because if for a good amount of 2022, he was the hottest thing on Raw.
Yeah, him and Randy Orton.
Him and Randy, even without Randy, he kind of went down a little bit, but he was still relevant. They still tried to keep him relevant and afloat. And he, at this point, is his own worst enemy.
Yeah. Well, some people can't handle fame. Mm-hmm. Some people can't handle money and fame.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I want him to get better. I want him back on TV. I don't want him to be fired. I want him to get help. But I also am holding him accountable for his actions. You know, there's not many other people we can blame other than himself, and he's going to face the consequences of these actions.
yeah, and what's fucking crazy? It almost seems like Randy was put with Riddle on purpose to kind of stop this from happening.
To keep an eye on him. Mm-hmm. And be like, listen, kid, I did this.
Yeah.
And I turned it around.
And I was a
Get your shit
legacy,
together.
and they were going to fire me.
Yeah.
you know. You ever hear a story? I don't know. Do you ever see the Untold of Randy versus Taker from WrestleMania 21? Speaking of Hollywood,
Yeah, it's pretty great.
yeah, you remember how?
That's where you got the RK over.
Oh yeah, because he reversed the choke slam into a RKO.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you ever watch not the match? But you ever watch the Untold about it?
Yeah.
How he was on a bender and he missed fucking rehearsal,
Oh, that's right. Taker was pissed.
and his father was pissed. His father was part of the
His-
match.
Yeah, his dad was just like, you embarrassed me in front of everybody, including The Undertaker.
Yeah,
And The Undertaker gave him a few receipts for that as well.
like years down the road, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, and if any, like I said, if Riddle can learn from anybody, you learn from Randy Orton, who fucked up every way, almost every way imaginable.
And dude, that year, that feud with Taker,
Mm-hmm.
like he ended up he pinned Taker.
Because that was Legend Killer Randy.
That was Wrestle Kid Randy. He pinned him, and I think Unforgiven because Bob Orton debuted
Correct. Bob Orton came
his
back, helped
side.
them. Yeah.
And then that led to a Hell in a Cell match, like a month or two later.
Yeah.
Which obviously Taker destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's where the receipt came.
Yeah, like bro, you had a Hell in a Cell match with the Undertaker in like your third year in the business, fourth year, maybe fifth year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. So it's a little bit easier because Randy had people on his side. I don't know if Riddle has anybody on his side.
That's probably true. I mean, it's hard to have people on your side when you have this much baggage with you.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the allegations in today's climate. Like, this is gonna sound really fucked up, but it could be bad for other people's careers to be on his side publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Absolutely.
if I was like if I'm Austin Theory, and I come out in support of Matt Riddle, Twitter's gonna come after me. The internet's gonna come after me for supporting my friend.
Yeah, you stay far away from this in the public eye as possible.
So keep that in mind, PC culture and cancel culture. You can prevent people from getting help.
It is, yeah, it's yeah, because you got to because you have to look at these situations almost in a silo. He has an addiction issue, yes. He fucked up in his divorce, yes. Those two things don't always interlap with each other.
Well, one definitely led to the other.
Sure. Yeah, no, probably. Yeah.
It's one didn't help the other.
Yeah, they don't help the other, but sometimes you got to look at them as they are separate issues that you have to deal with separately.
Correct.
You know, and that's sometimes what, as you say, the culture kind of misses. You know, it is all parts of a whole, but they are still just parts. You know.
Yeah, but it's like if he, like you said, like if Randy had people to help him, if he had people who could actually help him, like you can do that behind the scenes, right? But even publicly,
Yeah.
like that helps. Like if you're a public figure like that, and you're left alone for the public to feed off of you, and someone's helping you behind the scenes but not putting their neck out there publicly, that can fuck you up too. And someone's not going to go public because they're afraid of how it might affect them, which, don't get me wrong, I understand.
Yeah.
But it's harder to get help.
It's hard. And you know what's really interesting about this, too, as well, is that he failed one drug test before SummerSlam, rehab or fired, which was a very, very strong stance by WWE. I'm thinking,
Fair.
Yeah, and very fair, because they've dealt with, look at Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
You know, and then the second one, but all of these occurred after Randy was on the shelf.
That too. Yeah.
You know, which is it's interesting thing to look at that timeline of Randy gets put on the shelf. Matt is essentially on his own.
He went straight into the SummerSlam feud with Seth.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It was shortly after WrestleMania that Randy got hurt.
Yep.
And then he got into putting a few with Seth, and then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a shame. So I'm the optimistic part of me is thinking maybe Randy was actually helping, because it seems like it was.
Yeah.
You know, and he was very publicly, and even in storyline and on TV and stuff, he was very hurt that Randy got. Essentially, we haven't seen Randy since his injury, and Randy's career might actually be over.
Yeah, he has some really. I think it's his back.
It's real bad. Yeah.
It's one of his discs, right?
Mm-hmm. And he had back issues leading up to this injury as well.
Yeah, he's in big trouble.
Yeah. And so that also could be something that grief and trauma can lead you to find ways to cope in maladaptive ways. It makes sense that he might have potentially gone back to past drug addictions.
Well, Riddle, I'm pulling for you, man.
Yeah, we all are. We all are for Riddle. So who knows what's gonna happen? Like I said, never say never, but hopefully this is a wake up call for him. And if it's not, when he loses the custody of his children, that'll be the wake up call.
It better be.
Yeah.
Asshole. I got no sympathy for deadbeat dads.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself if you're a deadbeat dad.
So, moving along to more things that are actually in kayfabe but not real life trauma, fake trauma, because Alexa Bliss is turning at some point. I just don't know when. She's the #1 contender for Bianca's Bianca's WWE Raw Women's Championship. She put Bianca.
Look how jacked she is in that picture. Holy shit, Bianca.
Well, Bianca was just coming off of a fitness competition.
Yeah, I think did she win?
She placed second.
Damn, dude, she is in crazy shape
Yeah,
too.
it's gross. It's
Honestly, it is
gross.
gross. Like I don't. It's not. I mean, as a compliment,
Yeah,
it's
no,
gross because
it's a
like
good gross.
Bianca Belair is like other than her ass is not very attractive to me at all, but she looks outstanding.
Yeah. Absolutely outstanding. And so Bliss is at this point in time the number one contender for the women's title, but she is on the verge of rejoining Bray, or whatever Bray has in store. Because Bray somehow remains compelling even after months, and now Bliss is back in the picture. So
Well, let me
when
ask
does
you,
she
Ricky.
turn?
Alexa's character with Lily, overall with Bray, was that character a success or a failure?
The Lily character or Alexa's character with Lily? That like, are you talking about like post Bray's firing, or what are we
All
talking?
of it, because it's the same character. There was tweaks in there.
There
Don't get
was
me
tweaks
wrong.
in there, yes.
But the overall character from when she first turned to where she became stand up, shut up. It's
Oh,
just like I hate,
when she used her husband's song or whatever, yeah.
dude. I hate her entrance theme.
I do miss
I
the old Bliss
hate
theme.
it so much. This Alexa Bliss is the worst. She is like the Apollo Crews of this division, where she just goes out there and smiles with awful theme music. And Apollo had good theme music.
Paul did have good
So
theme music.
like, but my original question, that whole dark Alexa Bliss character, was it overall a success or a failure? I think it was a failure.
Here's
Like with Bray, it was okay, but she kind of sank Bray, and then on her own, she sank herself.
Well, I think on her own she killed the character, or was going to kill the character because Bray wasn't there. Because
Yeah,
I think the Bliss, the dark Bliss or whatever you want to call her character with Lily and everything was a Bray concoction because Bray has a great mind for theater.
it didn't work though.
You know. And I think she killed it with the therapy session. It was okay, but I also think it sounds like at this point it was just a stopgap for her to bring it back. Because I think there was more to the story, and I think it got ended really quickly because they were going to fire Bray.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it,
You know, and
but
I don't know, and I don't know if we've seen. You never know with Bray Wyatt if we've ever seen the full scale of what he's thinking at this point because we still don't know. We're still left in the dark a lot with the Bray stuff. And now Bliss is a part of it. I did hear a theory that Bliss's old character is stuck in Lily, which is also an interesting notion as well.
that's okay.
It was just an interesting notion as well, which I think would be pretty cool. There's a lot. Bliss is more visibly transforming into something. Asuka's transforming as well. I don't know if you've seen Corey Graves left everybody a little Easter egg. Because Asuka's been, as Corey Graves said, has a very suspicious social media account these days. If you looked on Asuka's Twitter, it is kind of weird, but it looks like they're
Yo, seeing her without the face paint made her look like 6 years younger.
who Asuka.
Asuka,
Guess how old Asuka is?
she's like what, 34?
No, she's 41.
She's 40. Oh, dude, Asians do age gracefully. That's just a fact.
Yeah, she ages really well. But it sounds to me that they are letting Asuka. This is probably also a Triple H influence. They're letting. Fred says she's 45, which I do not believe that. I've heard 41, and I will say 41. Um,
I could just Google it.
yeah. But no, they're saying that they're bringing her. She's on the verge of bringing her more vicious character when she was known as Kana back in Japan out. So think of the Asuka that you saw in NXT and when she came up, and how vicious she was, and then turn it up to like 11.
Yeah, dude, she never fully rebounded from that loss from Charlotte.
Well, now,
Fully
yeah,
rebounded.
yeah.
She's had a successful career, multiple title runs, and she's been over.
Mm-hmm.
But she was never the
She
same.
wasn't as popular as she was once the streak ended.
Yeah, exactly. That loss to Charlotte really, really hurt her, and she never quite made it back to where she was.
Which is such a shame.
She got close.
That's a fucking
She got pretty close.
It's a fucking great match when you ever look back at it. It's such a good
Yeah.
match.
like when she had a match on her match on with Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think Kevin Patch goes like, "Oh, they had a WrestleMania match." I was like, "No, they didn't."
Yeah, they
I was
did.
Like, wait,
WrestleMania in Tampa.
I was like, "Wait, they did."
36.
I forgot all about it.
Rhea beat her.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I think Asuka's coming. They're transferring Asuka to a more vicious to go full Kana. Look up Kana stuff. You'll be very surprised at how vicious she was. Bliss is turning into something that I don't know. I do love a story, but every time she sees Bray's new symbol, she like freaks the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, what they did best with their character was right before she first turned, right? When she would start going to signs. It's
Mm,
when she became a toddler and brought out Lily is when it was just dead. Other than
hmm.
like full grown men being attracted to Alexa Bliss as a toddler.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Oh yeah, Tyler. But in the end, she had the thing with Randy for a while. And so yeah, no, I think there's something with the Lily and something. I don't think it was a full success, like you said, but I think it was killed because they
Yeah.
got rid of Bray.
So I'm hesitant to have them go back to that because it didn't work. But at this point, anything is better than this Alexa Bliss because she has no character.
They're turning it. I think they're giving us a new chapter.
That's fine with me. I mean, I'll give it obviously I'll give it a chance.
Yeah,
Because she can just kind of go back and forth like that, which is really impressive.
yeah. It's like the way that she can change her face and
Yeah.
her body, like in her body. Like Shawn Michaels had the same gift as well.
In front of a live crowd of 13,000 people.
Yeah, the way she flips is something that we really haven't seen. It's like, remember when like, we talked about this on the show years ago. Remember when she first won, like, her first women's championship? And she was on like the post show? And she was crying and all that stuff and very emotional. And then she turned on her character
Yeah,
real quick.
I do actually. It's just snapped right into it. Oh, I'm the best though.
Yeah.
She had her moment. She's like, oh fuck, I'm a character on television.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not many people that can do that on a dime, and it is very impressive that she can do it. And I think WWE is right for really honing in on that very unique gift that she has. She can change in a second.
And she snuck in there too because she was nothing on NXT. Last pick of the
Yes,
draft.
Sparkle Splash. Yes.
The last pick,
Yep.
her and Carmella, last pick of that draft year. And
I wouldn't have picked Bliss either.
she just came on the scene and just dominated because Becky wasn't getting over as champion. They gave it to Bliss, and she just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, she's the first SmackDown Women's Champion,
In your mind, even though we know Becky is.
even though it is Becky. Like Bliss made it. Bliss made the belt relevant. Becky did not.
Yeah, and then Bliss ended up being the first one to win Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, she had an incredible career. Like honestly, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
She's incredible. She's an incredible talent.
Yeah, just don't look up her NXT days. Don't look up her NXT
No.
days. Let's move on to Ring of Honor, which Ring of Honor is back. Well, yay! They
Cool.
put
I
on.
think a TV deal is allegedly coming. Maybe.
It's not. I'm going to explain to you that. So Ring of Honor had their final battle. Premium live on pay-per-view, which is really good. What I liked about it, and I texted Will about this, that it doesn't look like AEW Light at all. It looks like Ring of Honor, which is one thing I was really, really concerned about, is that they were going to do just like AEW setup and announcing stuff, but they kept the Ring of Honor announcers, the same classic Ring of Honor announcers that you've known to grow in love for years, and the Ring of Honor set. Stage wise, Ring of Honor turnbuckles, Ring of Honor curtain ramp. The only AEW I saw, I think, was a security guard who was wearing like AEW gear as their
Cool.
security.
Well,
But it was good. It was good. Overall, the event was. I was able to find a really good stream. Overall, the event was really good. Apparently, it's their biggest final battle ever. They did it in Texas, and that's just not hyperbole that they used. From ticket sales and stuff, it was their most lucrative final battle that they've ever had. The main event obviously being Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli, formerly known as Cesaro, to a pretty good main event. You will love how this main event ended because they had one of the most unique finishes I've ever seen. So
I forgot Jericho had this belt. Who won? I'm not gonna watch it.
Cesaro won, Claudio won.
Really? Good for him.
He won,
For
so
him.
now he's a two-time Ring of Honor champion. He won by putting Jericho in the giant swing and not stopping.
And he just gave up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Jericho's like, all right, fuck you. Take the fucking stupid belt that doesn't exist. Take the belt for a brand that's not even real. All right, fuck you.
He got to 32 rotations before he gave up. 32 or 33.
I don't know. I know it's on with the eyes, but I don't know how he doesn't get dizzy.
It's the way you have to do small steps.
Still, how does Jericho not get dizzy?
Oh, I don't know how Jericho doesn't get dizzy.
I mean, how do you not throw up?
I want to see Cesaro swing somebody and they just puke. It like flies everywhere.
Yeah, gross.
Again, one of the most unique finishes I've ever seen. So congratulations to Cesaro going to now take Ring of Honor into his own thing. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And here, what we have now. So, this is what we didn't talk about on the show because I didn't know it was going to happen. So, FTR, the number 2 rated tag team, versus the Briscoes, the number 3 rated tag team, the number 1 rated tag team in the world by PWI, is the Usos. Rightfully so.
Duh.
The Young Bucks landed on number 8, which I thought was laughable. Because they're not in the top 5, I found that really hysterical. So, Will, here's what they had. They had a double dog collar match for the tag team championships of Ring of Honor.
So with 2 of them connected? With all 4 of them connected, or was 2?
No, two
and 2.
It wasn't all 4.
Imagine if all 4 of them were connected.
So it was. You were connected to another person on the other team, so it was just 2 and 2.
I liked it. I heard this gimmick, and I was like, "That's interesting."
Yeah, it was essentially it was a dog collar tornado match.
Yeah, that sounds incredible.
It was. It's incredible. It's very graphic. So please, if you're screamers and don't like blood, don't look at us on the video. That's essentially what you were looking at for most of the match. These guys started bleeding within the first 2 minutes of the match.
Duh.
Yeah, it was tornado. They went everywhere. They gave them a lot of length on the chains, which thank God.
As you need. Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 of them they were in the stands, they were on the stage, blood everywhere. Even the ref got color.
You don't see that often.
And that was by
I haven't seen that since Timmy White.
And that was by accident.
I bet.
No, it was actually pretty concerning. So
the chain.
He got hit with the chain like a closed fist with the chain around it to the head. I think it was an actual spot in the match. He just wasn't supposed to bleed. He fell, and as soon as he took his hand away from his head, he started leaking like profusely. Like you could even tell, like on like the performers, like, oh fuck. Like they had to literally get one of the ringside doctors, pull him to the corner, and like put pressure on the wound so that he could stop bleeding.
Stop the bleeding. Mm-hmm. They should have brought in another ref.
No, they did bring in another ref.
You guys gonna say he has to finish.
Well, apparently the match naturally had 2 reps by default.
Okay, cool.
For that reason alone, this is a hell of a match. It's a gruesome match. My only issue was that I thought there was too much blood too quickly. Like there wasn't a build to it. Like they just started bleeding really early.
Any other blood on the card?
Not that I can recall.
That's fine. I'm fine with it.
You know.
AEW does have a blood problem.
Yeah, well, this is Ring of Honor. It's not AEW. So, I did love how FTR wore white to this event.
Yeah, it makes the blood look better.
Yeah. FTR held the Ring of Honor titles for a year, which is good for them, but they did give them back to the Briscoes, and here's the Briscoes after the match with the titles and beer, because that's what the Briscoes fucking do.
Cool. Them boys, yeah.
A lot of people don't know about the Briscoes because they've had some shit with them, but they are pretty much like Ring of Honor originals. And these are people I wouldn't want to see in a bar fight or on the streets alone at all. I respect the fuck out of them. They are great.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the Briscoes. We also had the Pure Championship, Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta, formerly of the the Blackpool Combat Club. Again, this is my first time watching a Pure match, and I sent you the rules of the match, which I thought was really cool. For Pure Wrestling, you're only allowed.
I don't remember refreshing.
So you're only allowed 1 Pure. You have to do a code of honor. Number 2, you are.
What's the code of honor? Shake hands.
Handshake, yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, shake hands before and after the match, I believe. And then number 2, you're only allowed per competitor 3 rope breaks.
I like that.
3 rope breaks. In a Pure Championship match, a countout or a disqualification, the title can change hands or you lose the match. And any outside interference by anybody else, any outside interference by someone in the back is an automatic firing from the company.
I love those rules. That's a great rules.
Mm-hmm. So if you use up all your rope breaks, if you get put in the submission again, you can't use the rope break. It's a legal submission.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. Yeah, Pure. It's just Pure Wrestling.
Also, there's only one restricted move. You cannot do a closed strike to the face. It all has to be open palm.
That's stupid.
So you just get people slapping each other all the time, which is kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. That's because probably because it's smaller arenas, so it sounds better,
True.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You get the ooh in the crowd.
Yeah.
So like I get that, but like yeah, a closed fist is that you can't do closed fists. Like, well, how am I gonna hit him then?
So
That's
they
stupid.
treat it like a technical foul. So
But
if you slap them in the face, if you hit him in the face, punch him in the face once, it's a warning. Second time is automatic DQ. But you can
yeah,
still close. You can punch him in the gut and stuff like that. You just can't hit him in the
right.
face.
It's no touching of the hair or face. That's it. Yeah, that's stupid.
So for my
Whatever.
first pure one, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
That's a cool concept for a match. It's like the X Division with actual things that make sense.
Yeah, with actual rules. And so whenever anytime the pure championship is done under that, it's under those rules. Obviously, Wheeler won. So you have two people from the Blackpool Combat Club winning Wheeler and Cesaro holding championships. And also Mercedes Martinez and Athena went at it, formerly known as Ember Moon, for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And we had Athena winning again.
Cool.
So within a week, two of Booker T's biggest female proteges, Roxanne Perez winning the NXT title and Athena winning the ROH Championship. So it's a good week for Booker T. It was a pretty cool moment on NXT Deadline. So Roxanne wins the Iron Survivor, and literally Booker T breaks down in tears to the point where he can't even get back on commentary for like 5 minutes.
Interesting.
Well, he had been coaching her for like since she was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Down to so he's seen her kind of like grow, and now he got to announce her becoming the number one contender. It's pretty cool for him. But Athena and Mercedes put on a good stuff. I'm always happy when Mercedes Martinez gets spotlight, and she was the ROH Women's Champion. She's passing it on to Athena. They have history from back in their days in Shimmer, so they put on a pretty solid match. I miss Ember Moon hitting the O face anytime in WWE. There's always great visuals there, but she hit it. So Ember Moon is going to be leading the Women's Ring of Honor division.
The O face.
It was originally called the O face.
It's such a great name for a finisher. Oh, because I get oh, but also like
Yeah,
the O
you know,
face.
that thing.
Mandy knows.
So here's the thing with Ring of Honor. So according to the media scrum, because Tony Khan doesn't like to call things press conferences, he calls them media scrums. According to the RH media scrum, Ring of Honor is going to start separating itself from AEW, television and stuff wise.
Finally.
However,
Uh-oh.
it's got. You remember their streaming service called Honor Club?
No, but okay.
Honor Club is their streaming service similar to WWE Network with all the thousands of hours of Ring of Honor content throughout the years for $9.99 a month. Tell me where you heard that from. And so a lot of
Netflix
and WWE Network.
I know.
Yeah, and so from what it was gathered is that Ring of Honor TV is going to be on Honor Club streaming service.
He couldn't get a TV deal.
And also, the other interesting thing about it is that you also will have access to all of their events, like their Final Battle and whatever else they have going on throughout the year.
So no one's going to watch it.
90 days after the event takes place.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
You can watch your live pay-per-views 90 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, enticing, TK. I can't wait to drop $10 on this a month to watch it 90 days and $30 later. How about no? How about you put this shit on HBO? Oh wait, no, you couldn't do that either. You couldn't get. I understand a TV deal because why would you get a TV deal? Fuck TV. Cable's dead in the water. With once these ad deals run out and they all have no money to spend. Cable TV's dead.
My fault. It's not 90. It's 60 days after. My apologies.
Okay, so 2 months and $20 later.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, you couldn't get Netflix didn't want to buy this.
I'm surprised by that too. That would have been great for Netflix.
Yeah, it would be great for any streaming. Amazon, Apple, even. You couldn't get a streaming service to buy these rights. That's bad. This is not going to be successful at all.
Yeah, it's a shame because Ring of Honor has something.
Dude, they do. Here's the thing. But also, Rick, you got to remember, the economy is in as well as heading into a recession.
Yes, it is. That is true.
What's the first thing people are going to cut other than food and gas? They're
TV.
gonna cut their subscription services,
Yeah.
whether it's beauty, food, or entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're launching at the love in your city. I will.
Oh, well, yeah.
It is gonna be the worst time to launch one of these fucking
I
things.
find love in a hopeless fucking place. Continue, sorry.
So yeah, this is the worst time in the economy to launch a streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
The market's already oversaturated.
Oh, really? Come on, guys. We're not trying to do a Mandy Rose thing right now. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's already oversaturated. And yeah, good luck. Because I think ROH and AEW could just be Raw and SmackDown, that type of business model, but better, because it is two different brands and two different companies. But not if one's exclusive to a streaming service and the other one's on television.
Okay, so I was right the first time. It was 90 days. So it's good. So the Bleacher Report, based on the press release, came out 3 days ago. It said Honor Club will cost $9.99 a month, and include the entire library of Ring of Honor content, which is a great fucking library, to be honest.
It's a great library.
You know, which dates back to 2002, the likes of CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Seth Rollins. Current pay-per-views will be made available 90 days after their airing. No date has been set on the relaunch of ROH's new weekly show. Khan was shopping around, hoping to land a television deal, but the relaunch of Honor Club seems like a strong compromise. So it is going to...
No, it doesn't. You're settling.
Yeah.
You're settling.
What I talked about with someone, I might have talked about it with Charles. Shout out to Charles, by the way. All they needed to do... You don't need Rampage. Give it to Ring of Honor. You already have that slot.
That time slot, though, is awful.
The time slot is shit.
Dude,
I will say that.
Ricky, they're getting like 200,000, 300,000 views.
Kurt Angle's segment alone got like
rating.
2.3 million.
Like, yeah, that's their rating
for
their show. Which, honestly, Ricky, to your point, I don't think Ring of Honor's streaming service is going to get 300,000 subscribers within the first year.
Yeah, no,
I'd be shocked if they got over 250.
Honestly, if they got, what he said, 230 views, 230,000.
Yeah,
I think that's good for Ring of Honor to start out with.
It's probably more than they've ever gotten previously.
Yeah, the thing that always held Ring of Honor back was that they never had a TV presence. Ring of Honor is a damn good promotion. If you look back,
is their production? Their production was bad.
Their production was bad. The only thing holding Ring of Honor back, their content is great. Their matches are phenomenal. They are stuff of legend. To be honest with you, the only thing holding Ring of Honor back was the lack of a prominent TV deal. And now you're under the wings of somebody who has conversations and relationships with TV providers, and you tell me you can't get this on TV.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, that Discovery merger just fucked them.
Yeah, that's true.
Discovery is just like, yeah, we just don't care about HBO or anything.
Yeah.
We care about Discovery because we bought you. We didn't buy you to become you. We bought you to own you.
Which is within his right.
which within his right, but also that's going to fail because what's the bigger brand name, HBO or Discovery Plus?
HBO.
Yeah. HBO Max is the best streaming service, in my opinion. It's the best. I also love Hulu, but it's the best. And Hulu didn't want to buy. Disney didn't want to buy this. Honestly, it's probably the blood.
It is the blood. It's the blood. But yeah,
it's the TV 14.
Yeah, but like it's the thing. I go back to Bischoff's TED Talk, what he did on wrestling. You ever watch that TED Talk? It's great. It's like 5 minutes. Since the advent of television, wrestling has always been a top 10 viewed product. No matter the era, the era of TV.
Yeah, it's definitely in the top 10 on Monday, definitely top 10 on Wednesday, definitely top 10 on Friday. For sure. Guaranteed.
Yeah, no matter the era of TV wrestling. So like it's one of those things that from my perspective, like you can't lose with this. Will you get the numbers you want? Not all the time, but people are still going to tune in. You know, and with Honor Club, I don't think you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get
because you're only they have the same problem Netflix has. Mm-hmm. Netflix's problem as a business is the only way they can make money is through subscriptions.
Yeah.
Actually, I take it back. Ring of Honor has one up on them. They have pay-per-views and they have merchandise. Netflix has no merch.
No, you do not. I wish I could buy Netflix merch. That'd be fucking stupid. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, where is the toy deals for like Stranger Things? Whereas,
or any of their products.
yeah, like where's
Properties, actually, not
how do
products.
you have
Properties.
how do you have merch for Ozark? Good luck with that. But like, but like Stranger Things is their biggest hit, or like not the Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Where why aren't you selling those masks with Netflix tags on them?
Yeah.
That's Netflix's problem. So ROH actually has to step up on Netflix, but Netflix has way more subscribers. They can bump the price and keep making money.
Yeah.
ROH can't. And Netflix is going to get bought by somebody, guaranteed.
Sure.
Because the next 10 years, Amazon's probably going to buy Netflix.
Amazon's gonna take over the world. It's a shame because all you have to do to make this even worthwhile for crazy people that just love wrestling, just be like, yeah, you get like they should be able. And it's one thing Ring of Honor would have had up on AEW. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do live pay-per-views from Honor Club. It's all they should have done. They had that deal sometime like that before, but it sounds to me ROH should have been on Tubi. That actually might have worked. Um, which is weird to me that AEW and ROH, which ROH has done the streaming service before, but they couldn't pile together and do their own streaming service thing yet. Like, how does WWE the only one that figured this out of all the wrestling brands?
WWE's always been ahead of the game.
True.
So, like, honestly, Ricky, Vince McMahon had a vision for WWE
in the
Network
90s.
In the 90s.
In the 90s, yep.
Except he thought it was going to be a TV channel, which they tried with WWE On Demand.
It was a TV channel, I know, in the likes of Canada.
Yeah. And then Shumi came along and Vince was just like, I got the fattest boner right now. And he was right. WWE Network is still the best streaming service ever.
I totally agree. It was so
perfect.
Good.
The organization, the search feature, the skipping between scene selection with the matches,
the consistent live feed,
all of it,
and because it was run as a television channel to the naked eye.
Yeah,
and that was the brilliant part about it. Like, I used to have WWE Network just running in the background when I was doing shit.
Yeah, and it was that mixed with TV Guide.
Mm-hmm.
It was $10.
Yeah,
and I hate Peacock.
Yeah, it's Peacock. Peacock's getting a little bit better. The original content kind of blows, but Peacock's getting a little bit better. I hate that they sold it. I get why they sold it. I hate that they sold it.
I would have sold the fuck out of it. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Let's pause right there. I'm signing that deal with my blood. All right, but I wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, I wish it didn't happen too, because it's a shame, because like I just want to travel somewhere else and be like, I just want to see what the WWE Network looks like now without the Peacock on it. Like, it just
dude. Honestly, I kind of want a VPN just so I can have the network back.
I do too. And so I hope Ring of Honor / AEW figures this out, because they could have a great streaming service that people would buy into that can challenge WWE, but I don't know if they're willing to invest that much, especially if you look at the fact that their video game still looks like ass. Be that as it may, moving on from that NXT deadline, like we talked about a little bit before, Grayson Waller, everybody's most hated Aussie, the one who semi-retired Johnny Gargano and kicked him out of NXT, won the Iron Survivor. He'll be facing Braun Breaker somewhere down the road, I think at Vengeance Day in early February, for the NXT Championship, which at this point in time I'm reading for Grayson Waller because Braun Breaker is still really fucking boring to me. But Will Tarashuk, it is a new day. Yes, it is. The New Day.
Good for them, man. I'm happy for them.
The New Day have won the NXT Tag Championships, and I will tell you this, Will, so I bet I was so gung-ho that this was just an enhancement match to get Pretty Deadly a little bit over. I said, Kay Murphy, like, if the New Day win, I will buy you your own holiday Butcher Box to your apartment. And and I'm shopping right now. So,
I love Xavier Woods' hair. The throwback.
He brought back to his original days.
Yeah, Triple Crown Tag Champs. That's pretty awesome.
The third Triple Crown Tag Champs alongside the Revival, as well as the Street Profits.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. That's a good stat.
Yes.
That's a good trivia stat. That's a good trivia question.
That is a great trivia prize. There's only 3 people who are Triple Crown Tag, 3 teams that
say yeah.
Yeah. I still,
Go hard
I still
all
miss,
day, all night.
I still miss their NXT run. They were so good.
Dude,
They were
them and
so.
them and DIY, man.
Oh my god, top
Them and
guys.
them and AOP.
All of them. That tag division a couple years back was can't miss. Um, Also, what I found very interesting is that Xavier Woods is he mentioned it on this week's show. Xavier Woods was the first person to ever, quote unquote, graduate from NXT and get brought up to the main roster.
Really?
He was the first one, and the first ever NXT branded match was Xavier Woods versus Big E.
What about Seth Rollins? No, the Shield.
No, Xavier Woods is up before them.
When did Xavier debut?
He was with Brodus Clay and the Funkadactyls.
What year was that?
A long time ago.
I'm gonna call some shenanigans.
Xavier Woods also, here's a fun fact too. Xavier Woods also 2012. Thank you, Taekwon. Xavier Woods also debuted at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, same place where Trish Stratus debuted as well. So Xavier Woods, showed up with the Funkadactyls under Brodus Clay. So he was with Naomi and the fuck is her name? Ariane. I forgot her name when she was part of Funkadactyls. But I know she was on Total Divas the first season. Cameron, thank you, Taekwon. Yeah, it was Naomi and Cameron and Brodus Clay. And you want to hear a fun fact about Brodus Clay, who's now known as Tyrus?
He's the NWA champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, how the fuck did that happen? I thought he was on Fox News.
He is on Fox.
Dude, I hope he brings the belt on Fox News.
He probably would.
That'd be the most Fox News thing ever.
I remember working.
Him and Tucker.
I remember being at the gym a couple of years back, and I was doing I was on a machine or something. And I looked up because they had TVs everywhere, and I go, "Is that fucking Brodus Clay on Fox News?" It is ridiculous. I did see you slandered on Twitter. I was like, why the hell is he the NWA champion? So also the other big thing that happened was that Kofi Kingston now holds the record for most tag team title reigns. 15 tag team title reigns for Kofi Kingston, beating Booker T and Harlem Heat because they added the WCW. Well, they beat Booker T's reign of 14 because they added his WCW reigns and WWE reigns.
As they should. You know, they bought the rights, so they buy the history.
Booker T's fucking pissed. He's like, I had 16 actually. He said that on commentary. I was like,
all right, Flair.
So it's kind of crazy, and like I said, I thought the New Day were just gonna be here for just hot dog and a handshake.
Bring it on Fox News. That's amazing. I love wrestling. Because the people are watching like, what the fuck is that? Is he a boxer?
It does look like a boxing belt. But but it looks like the New Day are there for an extended period of time. Shawn Michaels was actually, well, we don't know how long they're here for. We're going to ask them creatively. So it looks like the tag champs, and they're there for a while, which is fine because the it's pretty interesting because the Usos have the tag championships for a while, and they're kind of stuck in that Roman storyline. So there is nothing for the tag team division to do. So it is kind of smart for the New Day to show up and actually win tag titles and do something with them. And it's also good for the NXT brand because NXT is going on tour soon.
All right, Taquan, if you want to count other promotions that aren't owned by WWE, the Dudley Boys have 24. If you want to count Japan and ECW, you want to count everywhere else. So I guess Kofi and Book can go fuck themselves. Demon!
Oh, man. So it is pretty crazy. So congrats to them. If you ever watch this match results, I know you won't, but it's a fun match. It's a fun match. It's a kooky match. It's very NXT, very semi-indie-rific. It's good stuff. And like I said, this is going to help NXT because they're going to defend when NXT goes on the road for Vengeance Day, which is I'm very tempted because it's in North Carolina. They are, yeah, they are going on the road again for their big events. So I'm going to interested to see the crowd they pull for this event for this next upcoming event as well. So it was a very good match, so congratulations to the New Day. But let's move on, folks, to this Friday night on SmackDown. And yes, well, that is the Best in the World trophy that you see. That they rebranded the World Cup.
So funny.
This, for all intents and purposes, besides the fact that Roman Reigns is coming back this week to SmackDown as well, Gunther versus Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship is probably going to main event, and I say it's going to main event because it's in Chicago. Yes, I think Triple H and company put all of our eggs into this because
We all know Gunther, Chicago native.
well, these are guys who tore down the house from their NXT runs in Chicago. So the crowd knows them. Chicago's a smart crowd. They're a loud crowd, as Will and I found out firsthand.
I hope they all chant Walter. 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 They go da 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 da.
And I don't know if I actually, I don't know if we talked. Well, I talked to Kay about this, but did you watch the match between Ricochet and Santos from a couple weeks back?
I did.
Wow.
Soporific.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew Ricochet was, but I didn't know both of them were in Lucha Underground.
El Hijo del Fantasma was Santos.
Yeah, I should have known that. The
Yeah.
kid of the son of Phantasm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew he was not King Ricochet. He was King
Prince Puma.
Prince Puma.
It's Prince Puma. Yeah. So I mean, it looked like a Lucha Underground match.
Yeah, there's flips everywhere.
It was flips. It was fantastic. It's honestly, it's the best Ricochet ever looked.
Ricochet, look at that body, dude. He's cut.
Yeah, he is.
Ricochet's probably like, man, I'm so glad I didn't go to AEW. I'm so glad I stuck this bullshit out. Papa Chip's here to help.
It's literally his whole thing changed when Triple H got involved, which I mean, good for him. I mean, because he's finally able to show off his natural talents. One thing that I noticed, Ricochet's a hero to all lightskins. It's the one thing that I noticed with WWE, and I was talking about this, I think, with Sir Charles, a friend of the show, is that Triple H has loosened the reins on the WWE style for some of his talent.
Oh. You mean in the ring?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can fuck with that.
Because like, if you look at that Santos Ricochet match, that's not a WWE match.
True. I think whip it out in special occasions.
Yeah, you also, they still keep the foundations of how you build a match, you build to the finish, which is what you're supposed to do, but there are some times where you can kind of move past that, and to get a main event match this early in his come up like Santos did, and they put on that great a performance on the loss with Ricochet, means they're really high on Santos is going to be huge in like 3 years.
Yeah, he's this Andrade with a better English.
Yeah, and a better posse around him.
That too.
and a better dresser. To be completely honest.
They do. They always look really, really good.
Yeah.
Their video package is just like, I believe that's actually whiskey in that glass.
I've been a big Santos Escobar fan. He's gonna be special, man.
His theme music. Da, da, da.
And you scream legato with it. Legato.
Yeah, he's got it all, man.
Yeah.
He's gorgeous. He's a beautiful man.
Handsome man.
Very handsome.
Yeah.
Never shave.
Yeah, handsome man. He's got the size, the height. He's perfect. He will be an Intercontinental Champion. He might even become a World Champion in his run.
He could totally.
He's
totally popsicle.
Yeah, totally that's possible. But for this match, Ricochet is going to make it look real good, but he's going to lose to Gunther.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's not get crazy here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a crazy match.
They're very high on Gunther.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, I mean he's in great shape. Also,
you know what it was?
Cut.
That's the thing. He did the work to improve himself.
You know what it is? He needs. I know, like I made fun of him when he was fat, but he needs to put a little more meat on. Like he's lean.
Well, he did the first one. He dropped, which is what was very important. He dropped.
Yeah, like he needs to put on muscle. Like imagine if he had Bobby Lashley's muscle.
That's scary.
That's what I mean. Like he's still big, but he's lean.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to put it back on in muscle.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do one thing before you do the other. You can't really you could, but it's harder. You got to drop first before you can put back on. But for him, what's impressed me about Gunther is that his promo work and his English has gotten better.
Yes, that's also true. He speaks very, very well.
And you believe he's an asshole from Europe too.
Yeah. Which, we're an American audience. You tour the United States. Like if you're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which Kevin Patrick said 9 times, they might not like accents out there. Especially go outside of Milwaukee. Like, what are you speaking, boy?
Yeah.
Like,
I bet you when they tour Europe,
have good English.
I bet you when they tour Europe, Gunther's like a fucking god out there.
Oh yeah. Well, he's from Austria, right?
Yeah, Austria, I believe.
God.
Yeah, no, but he's good. There, I would be behind him too, because like I said, he put in the work to get to where he needed to be.
Yeah, great talent.
Yeah, great talent. I got to look back at the picture I took with him at Evolve to see just like the actual physical change in him, because he was a hefty boy when he first got.
He was beefy.
He was a very beefy boy.
It was like, I bet that's what Vince didn't like when he debuted.
He's probably like too fat.
That's why he was booted pretty quickly from that match.
Mm-hmm.
He was eliminated first, which we and you were shocked in the crowd.
Yeah, we were like, really?
Yeah, but yeah, Vince probably was like, too fat, pal.
Yeah. Oh well, he loved Keith Lee.
Not enough. I mean, but Bearcat.
Bearcat Lee. Yeah, now he's in a loveless tag team relationship with Swerve, which is also really fucking funny.
Yeah, do you see people really mad at Mia Yim for posting that picture with Austin Theory?
What? Wait, what?
So Mia Yim deleted her Twitter. So like, Mia Yim.
She deleted her Twitter.
Yeah, because people going after her for it. So she had
come on,
Austin Theory like had her arm around Mia Yim and one arm like in a pose.
He was flexing, yeah.
He was flexing, and then she was up in the air, legs wrapped around him.
Okay, I've seen that pose thousands of times.
Yeah, people saying it was inappropriate because she's married.
There's nothing inappropriate about that.
Yeah, and I was like, this is the picture? Like, it's not like she was licking his asshole. So she deleted her Twitter because people were going after her for it. It's like, guys.
Relax.
Can you just quit being pussies?
But
for 3
also,
seconds?
like, the first time I met Mia Yim on the Indies, because PB Smooth was doing an event in Jersey and Dave and I went, was also the first time I met Austin Theory. They've known each other for years.
Yeah, they're probably
really good friends. Yeah, like, relax.
I mean, they could be fucking, but who cares?
Yeah.
It's not our business.
It's Keith Lee's problem.
Yeah, right?
So, like, they clearly know each other from up and down the road. Let them fucking take a picture.
Like, it wasn't risque. Like, it was on the white site too. It was in the WWE studios. Like, you know what I mean? Wasn't even in a parking lot. Wasn't in a bar. It was during a photo shoot.
Oh, it's
for their job.
So, it's one of those, like, because I know WWE has a whole, like, thing of, like, photo shoot outtakes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's really what it was.
It's on the blank. It's on the blank white background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a white psych. It was one of those rooms. It was like professional photography. But
like
fucking Twitter's having a gasket.
But if anybody watches WWE, watch any of their 24s, all this shit. Someone always interrupts a photo shoot.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the cameraman's like, yeah, we're just going to keep taking pictures. Fuck.
Yeah, that's your job. Your job is to take pictures.
Yeah.
Don't stop. They gave my brother 1,200 finalized pictures for his wedding. That was the final pictures. How many pictures they probably took?
That's disgusting.
6,000 probably. They're like, here's 12,000. Pick out 50 for your album.
Oh my God.
Where they touch them out more and print them up and put them in an actual album.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's 12,000 of the good ones to choose from. 1,200 from the good ones to choose
That's
from.
disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, let them live. It's just a fucking photo shoot.
Go to my Instagram. Check out the photos from the wedding. It was amazing. The photographers did a really, really good job.
That is nuts. By the way, before we head out, because we are about to head out soon and go to the post show, did you see the little nod that AJ Styles and them made about Carl Anderson?
No, I know he's competing at New Japan.
They said Carl Anderson is in Japan dealing with some business right now.
He is dropping his title in there.
Yeah, it's like
Sasha's going there too, allegedly.
It is a rumor. All right, so here's the thing. I didn't want to comment on it.
Is she allowed to do that?
I don't know if she's still under contract, number one. Number two, they said that the rumor was that Sasha's making an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom, and my joke was like, she probably just bought a ticket.
That's what I mean. She's probably in the crowd. She loves Japan.
That's where she went when she went on her first hiatus.
Yeah, that's where she fell in love with wrestling again. So maybe she wants to come back. She just needs a reason to.
Yeah. Or maybe she does a Jericho thing and just does a New Japan appearance run, which is...
She becomes the Painmaker.
Well, here's the thing. New Japan now has a women's division because they have a title now.
Yeah.
So it would make sense. I mean, and also Sasha loves like anime and all of that stuff. Like that's her thing.
She's a nerd.
Yeah, she's an anime nerd. So that's the thing. So it would make sense. And I'm not going to knock her for it. And this could also be my conspiracy theory self. As again, I was talking with Sir Charles over the weekend. Was that this is maybe Triple H doing a good faith borrowing of Miss Banks?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, if she's under contract, if she's not under contract, hey man, I'm happy to see her happy. If she got permission to do it, even better.
Yeah, even better. But also the fact that because people keep speculating about when Sasha's going to return, if ever, because that's also up on the cards as well.
Yeah.
It would be my biggest guess now is if ever in the if ever point, it would be if ever at the earliest Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. I don't know, man.
Here's
why.
why.
I think Sasha Banks is overrated.
Here's why. I know you're gonna hate that, and she's not overrated. I think she accolades wise, I think she's the second best of the four horsewomen. Her and Becky are 2 and 3 to me. But the reason I think she would come back at the earliest, maybe Raw after Mania, or even a surprise Mania thing, because I can't see her not being somewhat involved with Mania in Los Angeles or the Los Angeles city area, home of her cousin Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
you know, but also season 3 of The Mandalorian drops in March 1st to be exact, day after my birthday.
That as well. That's a good point.
And so,
okay, I got a game for us. We're gonna do the Bret Hart scale on all 4 of the 4 horsewomen on the post show.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
on the post show we're gonna do the Bret Hart scale for the 4 horsewomen and see who ranks.
I'm okay with that actually.
Yeah, that's a good post show game. So guys, stick around for the post show.
Yes, I do like that post show game, the Bret Hart scale for the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, she's gonna go on a media tour for Mandalorian season 3 if she is heavily involved in it, like she was at the end of season 2. It's interesting. The Sasha Banks situation is interesting.
It is. It's very interesting.
See how it pans out and how it's handled. I mean, she's not without work. She just finished doing a movie in Boston. Hence why she was at the Celtics game the other week.
Yeah.
So like she has opportunities. She's gonna be successful. She has her own CB.
Yeah, she's using her own name first of all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. She's using her own. That took me for a loop. But she has her own CBD company too.
I did not know that.
She does. She's been promoting it on her stuff. She has her own CBD company, but she's helping the market or what have you. So it's interesting to see where she goes from here because you can also make the argument that Sasha Banks does not need to return to WWE.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't need to at all.
She doesn't need to. Honestly, she doesn't need to return to wrestling.
Honestly, dude, WWE doesn't need her either.
At this point, you can make that argument. Yeah. You know, and sometimes if your run is smaller, it makes your legend grow higher and higher. Look at The Rock's run. The Rock didn't have that long of a run in WWE.
No,
or in wrestling as a whole.
Either Stone Cold.
Well, Stone Cold had a long run
in wrestling.
In wrestling, but in WWE it wasn't that long now.
Yeah, he had 2 years on top. Put that in perspective.
Yeah. And look where he's at now.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's about knowing when to leave and knowing when to come back. So, be it as it may, let's wrap this shit up. I'm excited for his Bret Hart game. So, that's why I want to get to it right now. So, you ready, Mr. Tarashuk?
Yeah. Where's the music? Here it is.
There it is. Let's get this left right title here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 320, the last lash, because it was the last lash in real life for Mandy Rose and not in kayfabe for Bobby Lashley because he got his career back. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host and apparently your brand new left right champion, King Ricky Rose. Find me and Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of our social medias. The links to that stuff is in the description below. Leave a like, share, subscribe. reviews wherever you can. If you're listening to us, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, wherever you listen to all of your great podcasts. And follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. The links to the description, including the links to our awesome merch, which is now on a holiday sale for the rest of the month, are in the description below. Because we did get some sales, Will. We did.
Nice. We did. Who bought?
I don't know, but somebody bought some King Ricky stuff because people like me and not you.
Nice. Okay.
So, what do you got for me?
There's a story. There's a reason I haven't seen Wakanda Forever. It's because Pink Eye twice. Who would have fucking thought? So, I saw your comments, Frets and Taquan early in the beginning of the show. I just didn't want to respond to them because I didn't have a chance to. But now I do. Tease and Thomas, ARASHUK. Talk Fantastic Podcast has been a little bit of a hiatus, but I have shows coming up the next 3 weeks and stuff already in early January. Unknown Unnamed Nonsense is coming back in January because my bullshit of How to Start a Podcast series is wrapping up.
Nice.
Lisa production and distribution is coming soon. So, fun things happening there. Yeah, check me out.
Yes. So, and hopefully when we come back next week, it'll be a KOTR Christmas Spectacular where we go through this whole year of wrestling and not talk about anything current unless someone gets fired again. And K Murphy hopefully will be back this time, but who knows? Who fucking knows? So until then, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you on the post show. And yeah, fuck you, Slack.